Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. My name is Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic wherever you're at. In this edition, I'm going to be talking about buying a new home or buying a new place to reside, etc., etc. So a lot of you folks out there are either full-timers or just live in a house and do some part-time camping. I'm in the school of I live in a house and I camp once in a great while. I've lived in California, I've lived in Texas, all over Texas. I lived in Austin, I lived in Lockhart, and I lived in Wichita Falls, and now I'm currently in Fort Worth, Texas. I lived in California, in LA, Riverside, Salinas, Santa Cruz, Watsonville, San Francisco, the list goes on. I've lived quite a few places in California and now in Texas. But we're going to be moving back when my wife finally retires in 26, I think it's 26, where she's going to retire. And we're going to look for a new home in California, probably between somewhere in that Oregon, California border region, okay? So why would anybody listen to me talking about real estate? Why would anybody in their right mind listen to Jesus Manuel Mena Garza talk about real estate? Again, I would compare my opinions with other people's opinions, talk to different realtors, and learn about the industry and how people, sell homes, and what you might be benefiting from certain people's wisdom, and what you should watch out for. So first of all, I'm going to talk about my background. While living in the Los Angeles area, I decided, hey, let's take some weekend classes at the local community college in real estate. So I got my real estate license after taking these classes. One thing I noticed in my class at the old community college, that people, I'm a high school graduate and a college graduate, and I took some master's courses. My wife has a PhD. The folks in my class weren't the brightest individuals. They weren't the brightest. They weren't the brightest or the best, okay? So it was a relatively easy course, and I passed the real estate exam first time. It was relatively easy. And I got a job working weekends, selling real estate for about 2 years before we moved again to Texas. And I said, hey, I'm not going to sell no more real estate. My brother is a real estate broker. He just recently passed away, but he invested in a lot of properties in San Francisco, San Jose, and Mexico. He owns quite a bit of properties, and he was a broker. And he often sold properties to my sisters who bought properties. One sister of mine owns about, 12 different properties that she rents out at a significant rate in Silicon Valley, and she lives in a ranch overlooking Silicon Valley. Then my other sister lives pretty close to my other sister, has a nice view of San Jose also, and she has half dozen properties that she rents out. So at the Christmas table, at the Thanksgiving table, they often talked about their properties. They talked about cattle, sheep, goats, chickens, stuff like that. My other brothers and my other sisters were all involved in purchasing property. I was pretty much late to the game. I bought my first property, I think it was in 2000, year 2000. So only 24 years ago when I bought my first property. Both of my daughters own property in Silicon Valley. They're doing quite well, okay? So I worked before moving back to Texas, I worked in real estate, and I want to be checking my notes once in a while, so please excuse me on my modest little RVing channel. One thing about being a realtor and working for real estate brokers and real estate companies, I overheard a lot of weird shit, okay? A lot of weird stuff. A lot of these realtors didn't have the best interest of their clients at heart, okay? In fact, they were not averse to manipulating their clients to their economic benefit, because the only way they got paid is if they sold the property they smile, they have a great personality, they're saying they're doing all these fantastic things for you. But they only get paid if they sell you something, okay? They sell you something, okay? So I quickly learned all kinds of machinations these individuals tried to get me to do. For example, one of my daughters was buying a house in San Jose, and they said, oh, you should get a little piece of that. You should say that, just try to insert yourself in that. I say, we're in Los Angeles. Oh, you should insert yourself. Just maybe get a percentage of that deal. I say, what? I don't think so. That's, that's not what they call honest, okay? Another individual's, trying to sell another person property, try overvalue that property, especially just before there were some issues in the marketplace. That's when the prices dropped. They just dropped. And I knew I was looking at the marketplace and I go, this is not a good idea. He just kept on saying, you buy a piece of property, you get a ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, and before it goes to a higher rate, you sell it and you buy another house. And you just keep ahead of that, and you get bigger and better house. You buy this house, then you buy the better house, and you buy the best house. Of course, that's when the market collapsed. And once the market collapsed, that's when I bought my next house. I was smart enough to say, I'm not going to listen to that guy. That guy's an idiot. And then I got my license, and I bought my own house. And it was a lot of fun, learning about the real estate. I never got screwed on a real estate deal because I knew I was bright enough, relatively bright enough, to understand what was taking place, and I didn't get hoodwinked. I didn't get screwed, in other words. So I'm going to read my other page of notes here. Please excuse me, I'm going to look down once in a while. I don't have a teleprompter. So what are real estate agents motivated by? What are they motivated by? They are motivated to sell something. They're not motivated to be your friend. They're not motivated to be, get along with you and have a good time checking out these houses. Oh my God, these houses are fantastic. No, they're not motivated. They have to sell you something. So they don't care if you get a lot of them. I'll be very straightforward with you. They're just, only motivated by getting money and, increasing their wealth. Not necessarily your wealth, but their wealth. So I worked with a broker, and of course that broker was probably, when I was in Los Angeles, was affiliated with another broker who was affiliated with a larger company, and that's how everybody gets a little piece of the pie. In fact, my broker, when I sold a house, they inserted themselves and said, I got to get a piece of that larger piece. And I said, why? Because, I want a bigger piece of that. And I said, no, you can't. You only get that part. You only get this piece. I get that piece, you get this piece. Okay, that's how it works out. I actually knew, you shouldn't be doing that. And I've been warned by the other agents not to do that, okay? So here's something. I've been in contact with agents. So I'm thinking about buying a house in 26, probably by the summer, fall 26, maybe in the winter of 26, in Northern California or Southern Oregon. And I've been in contact with agents, and I said, what's your commission structure? I know the real estate commissions, the Realtor.com got sued. The MLS system got sued that you guys were fixing these prices. 6%, 5%, and you split it. It's always split. And I said, how much do you want? The guy just told me straight up, he goes, I deserve 5% just for helping you find a house. I go, 5%? Well, that's very generous. Because I'm thinking about, when I sell my house here, I'm going to give 2% to the selling agent, 1% to the agent that's going to buy the property. That's 3%, okay, for a total of, of my property value, okay, when I sell my house. And when I buy a house, my next house, I'm willing to pay 1% finder's fee for helping me find the house, because in all probability, before I sign, oh, by the way, when you go to these agents, they're going to they now have to have you sign a piece of paper if you want to look at a house. And sometimes they want you to sign for like about a month. You can sign one for 1 day. And they say, oh my God, you're going to be, I only do things for 1 week or a month. You can say, well, I got to talk to somebody else. Maybe that's somebody else, because I know where neighborhood I want, and I'm pretty sure every agent goes to that neighborhood. And that's, I can go to, you're not, not the best agent in the world. Nobody is, okay? So they're all, God's gift, but they aren't, okay? So, you just go to another agent and say, I need to look at a house in this neighborhood. I will actually want to go inside. I want to go inside, okay? So you have to sign for 1 day. Say, okay, so for 1 day, you can be my representative. Only for 1 day, not for the whole year, not for the whole week, not for the whole month, just for 1 day. And you go to the house and you look at it and go, what a piece of crap. Looks better in the pictures. Or it's fantastic. I like this house. Let's make an offer. Okay, let's make an offer. Of course, the real estate agent, the first thing is they say, it's a very competitive market. It's always a competitive market. Every realtor will tell you it's always a competitive market. Oh yeah, it's a competitive market. It's like just like a pop-up doll. It's a competitive market. So you just say, okay, if that house is selling for $500,000, it doesn't hurt to lowball. It never hurts to lowball unless you're in a market, everybody's, there's only very little inventory. Then you have to pay full price, okay? But in most markets, the great majority of the markets out there, you could lowball at least a couple times. And then you go, oh, no, I'm not getting any of these deals. Then you start upping your prices and you give them, maybe full what they're asking for, okay? But let's say for that $500,000 house, I'll say, hey, let's offer from $420,000. Well, they take it, okay. Well, I don't think you're going to get it, but we could ask. Oh my God, they came back with $425,000. We'll take it at $425,000. We saved ourselves $75,000. What's wrong with saving $75,000? There are some markets out there that are, inventory is very low and it's very competitive by house. You know that. You go to certain communities and go, my God, people are lined up around the block to buy this house. And they're willing to go over the price. If the house was $1 million, they're willing to offer $1,100,000, $1,200,000 for that house in that neighborhood in Silicon Valley. That's the reality. In other parts of the United States, hey, those house prices are actually depreciating. Again, you have to understand what market you're going to be entering, and all realtors are going to make it sound, even in the most horrid of markets, are going to say it's very competitive here. It's very competitive. You should offer full price. And of course, they just want to make their job simple. They just want to get your money, buy the house, and move on to the next customer. So it makes it easier if you offer full price. So it's $500,000. Okay, let's make that offer, $500,000. And of course, what are they going to say? We'll take it because we expect only to give somebody $400 or $420. But we'll take the $500. If somebody's stupid enough to pay full freight, we'll sell it to you. So realtors are only motivated by making a buck, and they usually like a high turnover because they're in competition with the other realtors in the office at the agency or with the broker, and they're trying to make a buck. They're all competing against each other. They have egos, and they all have, I got a better car than you. I got a better suit than you. I got people working. I got a little side enclave. I got my own, marketer person. I got my own assistant, and I got a couple of realtors actually working for me. This little enclave within the enclave, which is a part of the brokerage, okay? One thing I'm being very careful about is flippers. One thing you'll hear in the news quite a bit is people saying, hey, this house has just been recently totally upgraded. Wow. Absolutely wow. It looks nice. They got that little black and white, the refrigerator, black and white, that stainless steel stove top and oven. It's the same one. Everybody uses the same piece of crap, stove top and oven, and same piece of crap, refrigerator. And they all use the same methodologies. They've all gone to the same seminars. How to flip properties and make $1 million and buy yourself a Bentley at 21. Wow. So let's go back to that $500,000 house. Okay, let's say, for example, my house is worth $500,000 as is. The term is as is. In the current condition it's in, it's worth $500,000. There's a lot of people out there advertising, we'll take your house and sell it fast. You don't have to worry about anything. We'll sell it fast for you. We'll buy your house right now. We'll buy your house right now. Okay, these people come in your house, two of them usually, and one of them saying, okay. They look it up, they do some research and go, this house is worth $500,000, but if we fix it up, we might be able to sell for $550,000, $600,000. So let's offer this guy with $50,000 worth of fixing up, a little bit of paint, throw in a new fridge, throw in a stovetop like I told you before, and some odds and ends, maybe add some little appeal and set it up, make it look like put some nice furniture. We have the same people bring in that crappy furniture, we put it in there, and it looks fabulous. It looks fabulous. So we can do that, but we're going to offer this person that the house is actually valued. We understand that we've done our research. We're real estate, investors. So we know the value of that house as it is worth $500,000. We'll offer them $350,000 or $400,000, okay? So they go, and that guy says, I'll give you $350,000 for it. Oh, is that the what? And then the naive person who's not too bright or not too motivated, doesn't understand the real estate market, says, is that what it's worth? Is that what it's worth? And of course, the buddy of the guy's trying to buy your property says, oh my God, that's the best deal. That's the best deal ever. I don't even know why. I think he should offer you only $300,000, but he offered you $350,000. I would take it right now. Just take it. $350,000. So they work off each other, and they're partners in crime. So they buy it from me for $350,000. They put $100,000 of maybe $50,000 of updates for it, and it's now they spent $400,000, $450,000 on it, and they sell it for $550,000. They made $100,000. They turn it around pretty quick. They got their crew coming in. They slop the paints, change the doors, put the fridge in, put the oven in, and they mow the lawn because you've been neglecting it, and they trim everything, and they take some nice pictures and say, hey, and they stage it, put some nice furniture, really nice furniture, not the crappy furniture you have, not the crappy furniture you have, not the crappy furniture I have, and they sell that house and get $150,000 profit. They plow that into their next victim's house that they're going to buy. That's the harsh reality. Again, when I was taking classes at the community college, the guy said he was a flipper. He saw the value of a house and offered up 20% less. There's a 20% rule. They only buy houses that they can buy for 20% under the value. So if that house is worth, let's say, for example, $400,000, they're only going to offer them $300,000, or whatever 20% is. My math may not be perfect. Okay. So let me go over the other side. Very nice. I got some more notes. So again, when you're buying property, you should do the process I would recommend. This is the process I'm going to be doing as I look for my next house. I'm going to interview several agents, and of course they're all going to say they're worth 5% just for selling the house. They're worth 5%, and I'm going to ask them. I'm going to have actually a list. They're going to say, how much would you want for commission? How much do you offer for the buyer commission? Well, what needs do we need to fix this house? What do we need to do? And you ask different agents, and you invite them to the house. They walk around. They go, yeah, this is a nice house. I think it's worth $500,000. You can sell it for $500,000 as is with a little bit of fixing up. You could probably sell it for $500,000. $550,000. If you're willing to make the change. And I said, I don't want to make I don't want to do all that work. I just want to sell it, mow the lawn, keep things nice and clean. I'll sell it for you recommend $500,000. Okay. So I'll put it on the market for $500,000. Other person says $400,000. Other person says $650,000. You go, wow, that's the best deal so far. And you ask them why. Well, I think this house is worth it. They have to bring in comparables. These are people that have sold properties in your neighborhood within about 3, 4, 5 blocks recently, and similar size, similar condition, similar if they have a swimming pool or not, similar square footage, similar square size lot, and you go, okay, that's almost exactly like my house. And They sold it last week for $500,000. That's pretty good. And it wasn't to a flipper. You ask them, was it sold to a flipper? And they go, no, it wasn't sold to a flipper. It's actually a family moved here from Arizona. Very nice. Very nice. So you know that your house at this time is worth probably around $500,000. Again, comparables. Real estate is based on comparables. You can't compare a house in the wealthiest part of Silicon Valley to a house in Waco in the poorest neighborhood. You just can't. It's not comparable. You have to get within a few blocks of your house and recently sold, not 5 years ago, because prices have gone up. So you can do comparables, okay? So once I get my agent, I'll sign that contract and we'll put the house on the market. And we'll leave a little bit of furniture, not very much. Most of the stuff will be in storage, and we'll get ready. In fact, we'll probably put the RV in the backyard. Yeah, we're gonna put the RV, sleep in the RV, plug it in, and call it good. And so that's the plan. That's the plan. From my experience, having homes in Lockhart, having homes in Austin, having homes in Los Angeles, having homes in San Francisco, et cetera, wherever we've lived, these are how you deal in selling and your home, okay? So now when I'm ready to buy a house, my wife and I are planning to get an RV and head, to Northern California and Southern Oregon and look at houses. We're going to go to houses, look at houses. First of all, we're going to go to real estate offices. Of course, they're all going to want to sign us up immediately. Hey, why don't you sign this? We'll be willing to represent you. We're going to say, no, not the same. Can I look at your wall with the houses that have open houses? And we'll park our RV there for like a month. And let's say, for example, Chico, California, we'll park there for a month and look at houses. And we'll go to open houses. We'll pass by certain neighborhoods. We'll see what's going on. If people have their cars parked on the front lawn. We don't want that. We're not motivated to move where people have their cars parked in the front lawn and, a lot of gunfire. Pow, 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 pow. Not for us. Not at my age, okay? So we're going to go explore these neighborhoods. Go, oh, that's a nice neighborhood. That's a nice neighborhood. Oh, this is even nice. This is enclave over here. It's very, very nice. I think we should consider that. Okay, let's see if there's any open houses in this neighborhood. And we'll walk around and go, yeah, these are some nice houses. And then contact an agent if you're in the neighborhood and say, I'll sign a contract for 1 week with you to look at houses in Chico. And you look at houses. And of course, every time he's showing you houses, he shows you a lousy one, another lousy one, and then this one he hopes to sell you. Usually that's the trick. 1 bad, 2 bad, and then 3rd, a good house that he likes. He's praying that you're going to buy it because he doesn't want to waste his time, holding your hand, showing you all these houses. But you're going to do that anyway, despite what he wants. You're going to do what you want, not what they want. You're going to do what you want that saves you money and that you feel comfortable with. So we're going to walk around. We're going to look at these houses. We're going to go, oh, these are very, very nice, but they don't meet our needs. And then we go to another community, maybe go to Medford, Oregon, and we go look at the houses down there and go, oh yeah, this is very nice, very comfortable. I like the price points. This is in a good neighborhood. It's close to downtown, close to a medical center, close to fishing, which I love to fish. Bam! Catch some, trout, catch some salmon. I'm set. Do some hiking in the mountains because it's near the mountains. Both Chico and Medford are pretty close to the mountains, and even Redding, a little bit warmer in Redding, and see what's available. Take our time. Maybe a month in Chico, couple weeks in Redding, maybe a week or 2 near Arcata by Humboldt, State College. Go up to Medford for another month and look around and say, hey, these are the communities we think we can afford and we actually like, that we feel comfortable in, and we're actually seriously motivated to move to. I'd love to move back next to my daughters in San Francisco and San Jose, but they're doing much better than I am. They're doing a hell of a lot better than I am. And they got big houses that, cost a lot of money. I can't afford to live next to my daughters. It's a horrible story. I can't afford to live next to my sisters. It's a sad story. I can't afford to live next to my brothers. It's a sad story. But I can live in Chico, Redding, Arcata, Medford, you know, Grants Pass area. I can do that. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them below. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, these are my opinions, my perspective. I would recommend checking out all kinds of RV, real estate videos out there and do some your own research. Go into the different communities that you are interested in and take your time, if possible. If possible. If you're relocating from, let's say, Fort Worth and you're moving to Denver, you just go to Denver. You're not going to go to Albuquerque. You're going to go to Denver and look at houses. But we're retiring and we're looking for a retirement home. So that's how we're going to be rolling in a couple years. Thanks for watching my video. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I specifically would appreciate it. And again, leave your kind and friendly comments below and tell me what you think about my perspective and my understanding of real estate. Check out my photographs. Yes, check out my photographs at rvta.myportfolio.com. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, I have other opportunities that you might be interested in. I have memberships. And for this channel, just press the button right under the screen, somewhere down there. There's a button that says membership, be a member. And of course, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMM Garza. This is Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. I'm not the richest person in the world. I'm not a real estate maven. That's my brothers and sisters are doing a hell of a lot better than I am. My two daughters, are doing a hell of a lot better than I am. But I'm doing okay. Thanks for watching my video. Gracias. Ring the bell for future notification. Adios. Bye-bye.